in this video, I'm going to express what I think about Elon Musk, what he's doing. A lot has happened with Elon Musk. A lot of people are skeptical. So I'm going to give my candid opinion of what he's doing in the context of all the events leading up to the notorious jester, the political moves that he made, and everything in between. And you want to make sure that you stick to the end, because perhaps there are things from this video that you can apply for yourself. So firstly, I own a Tesla. I like his cars. I like what he's doing. And crazy enough, one of the greatest videos I actually watched last year was a video from Elon Musk in front of his spaceship explaining the five-step process to five steps that he takes to improve any process in his business. And if you want to get the 5 steps, and just watch this video to the end, because the twisted way in how it works can apply it to your situation. So Elon Musk, all is good, all is well, and the guy is a brilliant scientist, engineer, but more importantly, he's an entrepreneur that knows how to leverage other people's, labor and own as himself. And he's an amazing capital raiser, probably the best capital raiser in the world. And so the thing with Elon Musk is that what he ends up doing and what he ends up focusing on is gaining power. I'm going to walk through the controversial events leading up to what we see as Musk right now. So one thing that Elon Musk did that a lot of people think is controversial is the "my heart goes out to you" gesture. I actually cannot do this gesture right now. I'm currently in Fort Lauderdale, where there are a lot of Jewish people, but ironically, a lot of Jewish people don't really think it's a big deal. So what Elon Musk did after the inauguration of Donald Trump is to do a gesture that really resembled a Nazi salute. And so most people, especially on the right, which I subscribe to a lot, would say that it's not really a big deal, it's not a Nazi salute, he has autism. Critics would say that it is a Nazi salute or it's an ambiguous gesture. I believe that it's neither. I think that it's something more strategic. So there have been many clips of Elon Musk clearly doing a heart goes out to you gesture that doesn't look even close to that gesture he did during that speech. There are other people who have similar gestures that don't even look, although if you take a freeze frame of what they did, look sort of similar to what Elon Musk did. But if you watch the entire videos, you would see that a lot of people who did the quote-unquote Nazi similar gesture doesn't look even similar. What I will say is a lot of people have looked at it with skepticism, whether they're on the right or on the left. But more people on the right seem to think that it's okay. More people on the left think that it's a problem, because people will just use confirmation bias to believe anything that they think. And despite people thinking whatever they believe about the gesture, people will just use whatever they believe to confirm their doubts and their realities. That being said, I really think that it wasn't, Elon Musk is not a Nazi. I also think that he knew what he was doing, because he's too intelligent to not know what he was doing. I think it was a form of equivocation, meaning that he did something that could be interpreted as multiple things. For this small 0.000x% of people that like that type of gesture, he did it so he can build a base from a power point of view. He is the biggest tech billionaire into politics at this rate, and he would use anything that he would want, he would get any resources, whether it be from people on the extreme right or people in the middle, to gain power. But for the masses, he knows that that will be unacceptable, so he uses a neutral gesture and a neutral salute. If it was really not an issue, then why is it that people on the left of Germany and people on the right of Germany both see what he did as a problem? But at the same time, Elon Musk has been a strong supporter of Israel, of Netanyahu, and of a lot of politicians throughout the way. So why would somebody who is a strong supporter of Netanyahu, of Israel, of the state of Israel, of Zionists, do something that would be contradictory to supporting those types of people? The key main reason is because he knows what he's doing in gaining a power base. Shortly thereafter, he did have a speech at back down in Germany with the most far-right group in Germany. And in having that speech, one thing is that speech was to incite a lot of following from the people on the far right. And Elon Musk continues to find ways to solicit a following on the far right. And in doing that, he builds his political power base, because him being so close to Trump allows him to launch Dodge, so that he can make governments more efficient in the United States, but at the same time, he can actually get government contracts more easily, because one of the biggest things that Musk even admitted himself that he struggles with is government regulation. Another thing that he said that he wants to fight against is the quote-unquote woke mind virus, because his daughter reportedly became a trans, changed her genders from male to female, and that gave him a reason to fight on the Republican side, to fight against what he calls the woke mind virus. You know, despite what you think about that, it's a combination of a power grab and of revenge to the far left, saying that, hey, I'm going to take power and I'm going to make sure that I don't succumb to this woke mind virus. And then the last thing is that you have to remember that he would do anything that leads to people gaining power. If it's about gaining power, he wouldn't really care if it's like people on the far right, people on the far left. He would do whatever it takes to gain power. And that's what's expected from somebody in politics. So I don't really think people should have sort of like, even with Trump and everybody, I don't think people should try to moralize it and have like a strong opinion of somebody being morally better or morally worse. I think ultimately people are driven by self-interest, and people will do whatever it takes to frame like an argument that makes it look as if they have your best interest. But ultimately people crave power, and for whatever power will give you, power will also take away. And that can take away your integrity, but then that can give you a lot of trust and a lot of leverage over people. Because somebody like Elon Musk having power over Neuralink, over the Tesla company, over robots, over XAI, which raised $3 billion, over a social media platform. I mean, it's a lot of power at once. So, okay, I'm good, thanks. So, if that's something that you want to consider, just make sure that you understand like the rules of power, and the 48 laws of power says it really well. And also what Genghis Khan did to conquer the world, Elon Musk is pretty much like a real life Genghis Khan. And so understanding the roles of power that he played are really critical. And so this is my honest belief. I don't really think he's a racist or a Nazi. I don't really think he's like a good guy that just cares about the world. I think that he's just in the game to make power. And he also has a lot of ego. For example, in a video game, he falsely hired a bunch of people to make it look as if he was really good at a video game just for his ego. So as somebody with that much power, who has the richest man in the world, he still has an ego problem, shows that you do whatever it takes to gain power, to show power. That being said, how can you learn from what he did to raise money, grow your business, etc.? Well, I mean, in a moral way, what you need to do is sometimes what people do from a legal point of view, from a power point of view, is they equivocate. Make one statement, but you're able to go back on that other statement so that it's ambiguous. Because if you're ambiguous sometimes, it can't be used against you if you hire the right lawyers, if you hire the right team. That's the first thing. The second thing is, ego sometimes is a good thing and a source of power. If you have ego, then you have motivation to show and prove that you're bigger than what people think you are. You know, and then the last thing is, if you have ego, if you have power, and if you have an enemy, his sworn enemy is the woke mind virus. And if you have an enemy, then you'll be motivated to do whatever it takes to shut down that enemy. And so when you're raising money, make sure that you declare an enemy, you use your ego, and then you're able to have messages that can be interpreted in a way that wins for your situation, that you can use it to win. So say something that triggers the audience that's your enemy, while you focus on pleasing the audience that loves you, and then that will die for you. And so with this, if these strategies and scripts are something that you'd like to get in place, as you're working on raising capital, just click the link in the description and click on that link. You'll see the scripts. We'll send it right to your email. So click the link right now as you're watching this. And then the 5 steps to Elon Musk's process is also in the guide as well. And so if there's something that you'd like to do, make sure you click on that link, and I'll see you in the next video.